Welcome back to the Krown crypto channel, where it is just 2 days left in this very boring month of September. However, not necessarily a massively down month September, even slightly green as of right now as we head into the very highly esteemed October, which we'll be going over soon enough, maybe in tomorrow's video, I do believe. However, the focus there is going to be, more interesting times. But in the interim, I want to be focused on some very, 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 very high-term timeframes here because there are some very important things happening, and I think that this can really set to rest, or at least give clarity on the long-term situation as to what Bitcoin's doing right now. When we start to look at, monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, 4 month, 6 month time frame charts, these really get rid of a lot of the noise. And while they do take, obviously a lot of time to come to fruition, it does usually make things a little bit more clear. So other than that, I want to welcome you back to the Krown crypto channel. It's a nice little Thursday or Friday morning. It's Thursday actually, and we can just jump right into this one. So first things first, I need to bring up my notes over here. Un momento, as I've been aware of, and we can see from the 6 month chart, there is something pretty damn interesting going on right here. What I have on as far as moving averages goes is this cyan moving average, which is the one that I want to have the full focus on for today's video. It is a 3 period. It's just 3 period. And of course, when we're looking at a 3 period on a 6 month time frame, what does that essentially mean? It's conglomerating the past year and a half worth of data into that point. So it is, it is incorporating a lot of data, but it's a very low time frame, or sorry, a very low period in this case. So we typically don't look at it, but on the very high term time frames, yeah, it is relevant. Even a 5, by the way, for traditional markets is very, very relevant. In fact, if you backtest that, you'll find some very interesting things, but that's not the focus of today's video. Bitcoin's the focus of today's video. Some magic internet money over here. And in this case, we can see that the 3 period on the 6 month time frame has generally give a very clear situation as to when Bitcoin is in a long-term corrective stance and when it is in a long-term, expansive stance, in this case to the upside. So I just want to go over the full history of this, starting off with the first ticks over here in July of 2010. You can see that obviously Bitcoin was above it, massive growthy green dildos to the moons and heavens and beyond, and Bitcoin, zooms up. And then what do you know? In 2011, we do see that first closure below. That indicates that, it is the current the current parabolic rally is done, and it's done for a while. And in this case, you can see that for the next basically year, it was consolidating below that moving average. Once it reclaimed the moving average right here, I did not mean for all of those things to pop up right there. You can see that things once again did zoom onto the upside. In fact, I'm going to get rid of all of these damn drawings. There we go. That's gonna fix this. So reclaims it right here, boom, upwards and onwards for the next couple years, and then it loses it right here. Corrective for the next year, basically. Reclaims it right here, zoom all the way to the upside for the next 2 years. Of course, that was the 2018 high. Loses it in the beginning of 2018, as you can see right here. Correction, reclaims it in January of 2019. Yes, it did lose it again in July of 2019. And yes, price action did come down significantly more, almost testing that yellow 21 exponential moving average, as you can see, but did inevitably close back above. So it did indicate that a bigger correction was coming by closing below. Right there, again, that major wick to the downside, but at the end of the day, it did close above, and what do you know, for the next couple of years, straight to the moon and beyond. And that brings us to our more, prescient times right here, which you can see Bitcoin obviously closed below in Jan of 2022, indicating the beginning, hey, stop that, we're not trading right now, we are looking at price action right now. And you can see that, for the last year, for 2022, was consolidating below that region, reclaimed it in the first half of 2023. And what do you know? So far, Bitcoin is just coming back down to retest this region. You can see that 3 exponential is at where? This is the fun part. It's at 26,428. Where is Bitcoin trading right now? 26,426.4. And counting, with 3 months left to go in the trading period here. So, long term, I do look at this as a strong indication that Bitcoin probably does put in a low somewhere around here. Can things trade further to the south? Yeah, possible. It doesn't really destroy this relationship as long as Bitcoin's closing above this $26,500 pivot almost. So in this case, Bitcoin is showing some signals actually of putting in a major low as we've been going over for quite some time now. But even in the last day, interesting things have been happening despite being mostly sideways. At this $26,000 region. So that would indicate that this next thrust to the upside might begin a little bit sooner rather than later. When I say sooner rather than later, we're talking about a 6-month chart. So what would that essentially mean? It'd be the first half of 2024 is what I'm trying to say. First half of 2024. Anyways, going into what I think is a little bit more immediately concerning is going to be the 5-day chart over here. Just updated again last night. I'm about to cough, so apologies on that. Damn, man. Damn. Anyways, 5-day time frame chart. I actually just made a tweet about this as well, but I'd like to go into a little bit more detail right here. So we've been following the 5-day stochastic oscillator for a long time now. I'm not going to be overlaying the I'm not going to be speaking about the BBWP at length in this particular video. You already know about that. It's just not super relevant for timing as of this exact moment, but there are several other things. So first things first, I'm going to throw my drawing tools, and we can see on the 5-day stochastic oscillator, this trend line that has been formed since January of 2022 is getting tested once again and has once again, provide the impetus for a bit of a turnaround. Now, if we go ahead and look at the chart, where are these prior trend line regression tests coming in around? Well, they actually are coming in around prior bear market bounces, namely these two right here. So this was back in January of 2022 and did lead up for almost a 40% bounce, just under 38% over the course of just over 2 months. So pretty significant right there. Again, the same thing happened over here this was June of 2022, so about 6 months later, for another 35% bounce over the course of the next 50 days. You could even say that this area over here is kind of another test as well. I'll go over why in detail a little bit later, but that obviously was the low thus far. And then what do you know? We see the same thing over here, bouncing off that trend line. And so far, have we seen any sort of crazy move? Obviously not. And again, this does not imply that Bitcoin can't come back down to 25,500. Very possible there. Just don't want to see it really below the lows of September, which is thus far like just below $25,000. But even in a pretty hefty bear market, in these cases over here, it was providing, more than 30% bounces. In fact, more than 35% bounces. If Bitcoin were to bounce, 30% from here, that would put Bitcoin at about, $33,500. If it goes 40%, that would put Bitcoin at about $36,000, just to put a number on it. Now, there's something else that I want to get back to now that kind of relates to this point over here, the one that we're currently dealing with, a little bit more with what we did see on the current macro lows at that $15,500, $16,000 number. And that is this green dot that I have circled and highlighted right here and again right here. What does that indicate? That indicates, and maybe we even talk about this one over here as well, which, by the way, that was the start of this rally to all-time highs in 2021. But yes, this dot represents the DMI. So when the DMI turns when the DMI turns bullish, according to the advanced stochastic indicator, then it turns green. When it's red, it's bearish, basically. And as you can see, the last time that we saw this one actually even fire off a green signal, that was the low, and the time before that was a major low over here in 2021 before Bitcoin again did rally up from setup given, which was right here, to the next major all-time high, I should add, was 83.5% move. This one over here, obviously, also pretty damn impressive for about an 83.5% move. That's interesting. That's invigorating, sir. What the fuck's going on there? So these things kind of combine together do make me consider that, again, probabilistically speaking, there's pretty good reason to believe that this current area over here is forming a major low. Doesn't mean that it can't come back down and do something like this and grind its way out, maybe a quick down in October and then back up. But So far, I like those September lows. Of course, this also would imply that there's going to be some hidden bullish evidence between this point and this point that we have gone over on the 5-day RSI. We'll go over that again. And then again, that fucking hash ribbons indicator keeps on rearing its beautiful but ugly and silly head. Again, I do understand that a lot of the insufferable YouTubers also harp on about that. I get it. Hopefully I'm coming at this one from a different angle, but data is data at the end of the day. And while I won't go over the full rigmarole on that one, that setup has implied in the past that the prior low from that signal firing off has been the low before Bitcoin ever visits ever again, 13 out of 15 times. So that prior low would have been this low right here. Bitcoin has come down to it, not closed below it, which does not invalidate it. So Bitcoin still has a lot of things going for it as far as putting in a major low right here. I know it does sound a little bit crazy, especially as Dixie rallies to the moon and beyond, which, oh, bastard. Oh, how dare you? How dare you do this to me? I don't even know what I did. I just clicked a button on my mouse and things start going fucking haywire. But anyways, you get the point. We can now go into the 4-hour HPDR ranges, just see what's new here. Not much is new. The range has stepped up a little bit. You can see that Bitcoin did get rejected at the range highs from yesterday. Just came back down to the average of the range and so far holding it and actually rallying off of it. So another somewhat good signal. But like I said, I'm not super married to the low-term timeframes right here. Bitcoin wanted to come back down to 25.5 or 25.6. That's completely fine. Doesn't really do anything for the higher-term timeframes again. I should also say that the top side of the current range highs is 27,000. So as long as Bitcoin's below there, nothing new. Current low side of the range, 25,650. Again, same thing to say right there. Let's see. Should we go through stochastic momentum on the other time frames? Sure, why not? We're already here. 2-day time frame is going to be actually headed down if Bitcoin does close below 26,550. Which right now it is about $100 below with 1 day left to go. So fair enough. Daily time frame is also going to be down as long as Bitcoin's below 26,950. Again, kind of reasons why I do think that Bitcoin could come back down and retest mid 25s, completely fine. 12-hour time frame going to be showing up above 25,120. 6-hour time frame is going to I'm losing my voice, man. Where's my voice going? Come back to me, voice. There we go. 6-hour time frame up above 26,250. 4-hour time frame is going to be showing probably also up. Yeah, no, actually down below 26,680. And hourly is going to be up above 26,300. Not really getting much confluence from these. Just looking at price action, do I think it tests up, to the upside again? Probably, yeah. Probably, yeah, in the short term. But again, not super married to that. October is really the focus for anything more interesting going on. As I said, over the past week, I think Bitcoin's, it's seen the highs for September. I don't think that it'll close September above 27,000. Don't also think it'll close September below 25.5. And October has actually been one of the most nice months to Bitcoin throughout its history, especially more recently. So, I'm going to leave things right there. I want to wish you the best as always. Wish you the best as always. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully Friday.